Welcome to the Mischief Makers podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Russell, and this is the Thespians edition. I'm very happy to welcome our guest, Helen Griffiths. Hello, Helen.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Oh, very good. Now, please tell us, what is your role in Thespians?
So I am the wardrobe supervisor for the tour of Thespians. I'm not involved in the design, but I'm involved in looking after everything that kind of runs costume-wise, backstage, and dressing as well.
Dressing as well. So what's the difference? Like, what does dressing entail?
It means quick changes. It means anything that's coming on and off stage. A lot of unzipping, rezipping, and then
cast
the
members.
washing afterwards.
And then the washing afterwards.
Yeah, washing afterwards.
That's a big job.
Yeah, it's a solo job as well. Yeah,
I imagine that's quite a lot of work.
Unfortunately.
And so for our listeners, like, that's something that sometimes is done by a few different people, but on this tour you're doing
all of it.
And you're sort of prepping the costumes before the show starts, washing them, getting them ready, sorting them into everybody's dressing rooms.
Yeah. So
you're really such an essential member of the crew.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's very important then for the cast members to get on with you, I'm sure. Well, start by telling us, this is the first time you've worked with Mischief, am I right?
Yeah.
But when did you first encounter Mischief?
I want to say before lockdown. I think it was like 2019, 2020, and it was all of the kind of podcast and like YouTube snippets that were floating about. I think there was like Mischief movie night, and then Play That Goes Wrong, and it was all out on iPlayer, and it was all just something to watch, and I got really into it, and I really enjoyed Peter Pan Goes Wrong, which is one of my favourites, and Christmas Carol Goes Wrong as well, with Jonathan Sayer, who was one of the writers, and it kind of spiraled from there, and I've been a bit madly obsessed ever since.
Really?
But I didn't really associate like working with Mischief. It never on the radar. It was never something that I thought, oh, I might end up working with Mischief. But it just cropped up and it was an opportunity, and I just was like, I might never get this opportunity again, so I really want to take it. So I feel very privileged to be working with Mischief. And yeah, it's been a bit of a inspiring journey, I guess, from watching it and then going straight into working for them.
And so your favourite was Peter Pan Goes Wrong?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What do you like the most about that?
I like the bunk beds. I like the crocodile, snap, snap. And then at Christmas Carol, I really like the Jonathan Sayer Get Out. You can't beat the Get Out.
Oh, I know.
I think it's in Christmas Carol.
Oh no, Get Out,
no,
I believe,
that's in
is in the lodge in the Goes Wrong show.
Yeah, you Slab and Get Out, which is in the other one, yeah.
That's right, you Slab.
Yeah.
Jonathan Sayer, of course, who wrote the book and co-wrote the lyrics for Thespians. Well, that's really exciting. I think there are lots of people who listen who are like fans of Mischief who work in the industry and don't necessarily know how to get either into working with Mischief or indeed actually getting into working with the industry in the first place. So could you tell us, like, so you work in wardrobe and costume. How did that journey begin for you in terms of coming into the theatre industry?
I wouldn't lie and say it's easy. It's not an easy journey. I started in textiles as my kind of way in. I didn't actually know that theatre and wardrobe and costume was actually an opportunity, even way back when I was a student. I did textiles since I was about 7. I did it as a hobby. I did it with my grandma, and then I sort of spiraled into this. It wasn't until I went to college that someone was like, you can do textiles as a career, as a job. People do actually do things with their hand and sew and make things. It's like, oh, okay, I can maybe do something with this. And there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I used to watch on DVDs and, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, for example. And from there, I discovered that there was costume degrees that I could go on and do once I got to college. And I sort of went into it from a kind of academic side in a way. But I don't think there's a right way and wrong way of getting in. I think obviously getting as much experience as possible is key, but I don't think you have to have a degree to get into costume. I think you can do workshops, you can do loads of amdrams, you can do panto work, you can work front of house, you can work back of house. It all sort of moves forward. As long as you're doing something in that field, you can definitely get into theatre that way. I don't think there's a right or wrong way.
So tell me, what are the basic skills maybe if someone's thinking they'd really like to connect their passion for textiles and making and then connect that with their love of theatre. What are those basic skills that someone might really need to make sure they've honed if they want to be able to bridge that gap?
Definitely be able to sew. Even a minimal amount of sewing, even just sewing a button on is better than turning up to something and being like, I don't know what I'm doing. Being able to sew, a little bit of hand sewing is kind of a must. If you can machine sew, that's kind of useful, especially if something rips. Just having a little bit of an interest, even if you're not a massive crafter, having a little bit of interest in designing, making, it helps a lot.
Because you didn't design this.
No.
But would you, do you think, in the future?
I'm from I like making more than designing. I don't aspire to be a designer. I like designing in a way, and I am doing a couple of designing jobs on the side, but it's not I don't want to end up being a costume designer. I'd rather be a costume supervisor or a costume working assistant type thing.
Yeah, that's so great. I think it's a classic for someone who doesn't know very much about that side of everything. I go, doesn't everyone want to then just eventually be a designer? Yeah. And that might feel quite, I don't know, like a lot of pressure for someone thinking, I'm not sure that's what I want. Yeah. You can absolutely have a career in costume, but you don't have to feel like you need to be designing anything.
And a lot of young people think that is what they should aspire to be, and there's actually a lot more jobs that are organising, making, working, looking after things, like dressing as well. Like some people only want to be a dresser, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to be anything but a dresser. Like if that's what you want to do for 20, 30 years, great. And
my goodness, is a good dresser.
There are some really good dressers.
Worth their weight in gold. Yeah. I mean, I know as an actor, when you've got somebody at the side of stage who helps you get in and out of those crazy costumes in a matter of minutes, it is invaluable, and also not just like how sort of skilled, but also you have to kind of develop your social skills in like
it's a lot of a lot of interpersonal skills.
Interpersonal skills.
Yeah. Just being nice.
Being nice.
Just be nice. A lot of people, you'll hear horror stories of dresses being absolutely awful because it's quite an intermediate. You're in a very personal space. You're seeing someone get undressed, so you are in a very small bubble of like you've got to get to know these people. You've got to be nice to them. You've got to see them in a state of undress, and they come to you with personal problems as well, and you just have to kind of sometimes not react, sometimes just literally get them changed and be like, yep, they're talking about something that's happening in their personal life, I'm not getting involved. Or you have to be a bit of a therapist and say, you're okay, you're fine, you've got your things, go. Like, get on stage, go.
Wow, like a little bit of support.
So yeah, being a good dresser is actually quite a hard thing to do. I wouldn't say I am amazing, but
I'm sure you're fantastic.
But if you want to be a dresser for 30 years, that's fantastic. I don't think you should be pressured to be anything that you don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I should also say that every actor needs to remember to be nice and kind to their dresser.
Yes.
It'll pay dividends.
Not all of them are. Yeah, that happens as well.
Don't take anything for granted. Do you have a sort of favourite costume or design in the show?
In Thespians, there is 3 grape costumes.
Grape costumes?
Grapes. Because there's a god of grape and wine.
There's a god of grape and wine, okay.
Which is Dionysus, which I can never say correctly, so correct me.
You just
if
did
I'm
it,
wrong.
I think.
I can't even say sepsis. So there are 3 different stages of the costume. So the first one is handmade, as the idea that Atlas, who is one of the kind of side characters of our troupe, had handmade the costume. And then as the story progresses, there is another Dionysus costume, which is the same costume as before, but he's now gained wealth and he's now well known. He's got fans. They all love him. And it's more extravagant. It's like a whole like sash, I guess, over his toga.
It's like extra,
and it's
isn't it?
Full of grapes. And I just really like it. And it's got a big crown, and he's got his like "You shall not pass" sort of staff that looks a bit like Gandalf with grapes on it. I really like that costume. I think that's one of my favourites.
And then there's that third one, which we don't want to give it away for anyone who's going to watch, but...
The third one is the Adonis costume, which is also great themed, but I don't want to say too much about it because
it's very good.
It's very funny.
It's very funny.
It comes in Act 2 about halfway through.
Yeah. Sort of another example, I think, of... we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, that you've got the people who write the shows and then the actors like making a load of comedy, but how integral design and costume, like set design and costume design and the making of the costume is to delivering comedic moments. Mm-hmm. Without you, did you know in The Play That Goes Wrong, this is a weird fact, we had to workshop the red dress over and over again to make sure that like it fell just the right way so that the knickers were always like slightly revealed but not too much. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, that element of things, is that different from when you've worked on another show, you know, with Mischief? You have to like think of these weird sort of, it has another job to do.
I think on this, I've for the whole time I've been on the tour with Thespians, I've always associated it with panto because there's just such a panto feel about it. Mm-hmm. But I think I say that because it's, like you say, it's got to have this comedic effect. It's got to have this, something's got to fall off, something's got to work a certain way, and especially with costume and set as well. So like with these 3 great costumes, there's a degree of comedy in that.
Yeah, it really
you'll find
adds
out if
to
you watch it. Yeah. Because I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, the Adonis costume is very pivotal to, like, he needed that costume to play that comedic effect, as well as what Mark Pickering does really well. He uses his kind of acting skills, but also the costume has a lot to do with that being hilarious, and what he says is also hilarious.
Yeah, and then there's these moments where it's quite early on, I don't think it gives too much away, where, you know, things have to fall down or things have to fall out of costume.
Yes, I love how that's made. I wish I could do a whole thing on how that's made. It's fantastic.
I think maybe, look, if we're not allowed to include it, we'll cut it. So there's a moment in the show where apples need to appear to fall from a character's underpants.
Yeah.
Because he's been stuffing his loincloth with apples to make himself look more well endowed. How do you make that work?
So they are not falling. They're not. Everyone thinks they're in his waistband. They're not actually in his waistband.
Are they in his pants?
They're not in his pants.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I think I want to say it's our props department. It was a collaboration between the props and costume department. Initially, when he did rehearsals, it was a running backpack.
A running back. Oh, one of those ones that's like really flat on the back.
Running vest there was one zip in it, but they took the zip out and it sort of had a flap in it. And there are 3 apples that fall through the running backpack. It then, when they made it into the costume, it became another backpack. It looks like, I always think of it as, when we were little, we made like pop bottle base rockets.
Yeah.
It looks like that, but it's not that. There are 2 sort of tennis ball tube type things on his back, and it's zipped into like a vest. And there are 3 apples at one time placed in one side, and there are 2 apples on another side. When Mark comes to pull there's like 2 little tabs at the bottom. So Mark will reach behind his back, pull the 2 tabs, or pull 1 tab, depending which side it's coming out of, and it will drop to the floor. And he sometimes does a little comic shake, because sometimes it doesn't always come out.
Yeah.
So sometimes he'll shake, but it's literally underneath the cape, which is why he had the cape on his back.
That's why he has a cape on his back.
Annoyingly, he does, again, it might spoil the show, but he does do a tush fall. And annoyingly, he does 3 tush falls in the show and has to fall on top of apples, which are quite painful. So poor Mark has a very poor back at the moment. Because he's literally falling on top of apples. They're made of like a beanbag.
Yeah, so that they fall nicely and don't
quite
roll
weighty.
around.
So if you've ever seen him throwing them off stage, you can hear a little thud. That's an apple being thrown off on stage.
Do you know what? I watched it last night and he'd kicked it off stage, but it didn't quite go into the wings.
Yeah.
Was it your hand I saw reaching to pick it up?
It was Hallie. Hallie is our wonderful technician. Hallie had to grab the apples. I catch the foot. Which also gets thrown. I catch the foot in a washing basket. There's another fun behind the scenes. You'll never see it, but
you catch it in a washing basket.
I catch the foot in a washing basket.
Is that so that is that because it's easier for him to aim to, and it also doesn't make a noise?
Fun.
It's a bit of fun. There you go. It's just a bit of fun.
It's just a bit of fun.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I always remember that. There's always games of like people backstage catching things. We used to have
a lot of fun.
chucking. I used to have to chuck the acorn in pan over the back of the set.
Yeah.
And particularly on Broadway, Liv would be there every day, and that it developed over time. I didn't even know this, that Liv would have like a one of those baseball mitts, sometimes wear a costume to try and catch it. It was ridiculous because obviously she didn't know where it was coming from.
A bit, but it's a washing basket, and it's me doing this. And catching it,
that's so amazing.
It's only started recently, but now we can't stop doing it. And it's
that
I
always
have to
happens.
do it now.
It happens in shows, doesn't it? These like little moments that develop over time and become a silly game. And as long as it obviously doesn't affect the show, it really helps with the tour, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you get, like, annoyingly, you do get bored after a while. That's 8-10 weeks. You do start to get a little, like, heard it all before. So you're just kind of a bit like, oh, what can I do to kind of make this show a little bit different? So there's always little tiny things you can tweak without affecting the show that we do backstage, that we just sort of try and keep our spirits high and don't feel so tired and things like that. So that's one of our things that we do.
I love that. I love that. So, okay, I know something else that you do.
Okay.
I've heard. So obviously your job is mega, and you have to... Do you have to go to a dressing room and you pick up all the costumes? I mean, I know this sort of as an actor, but describing to other people who are listening, you're getting the costumes at the end of the day, or you're putting them in there at the beginning of the day. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your way of incentivizing tidiness.
I'm going to have to do this on every single show that I do from now on, aren't I?
Yeah.
It actually started when I've done Panto for 5 years, and we used to do it with the kids in Panto, which are also called youths. And we used to do this thing of, like, if you tidy your room every single show,
your dressing room,
we will give you a prize at the end. And normally, because it's Panto, and Panto people, cover your ears because this is a little spoiler for you, but you'll get a chocolate Santa at the end of it. But for this one, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try doing it again because it's only me. And if you don't have an assistant, it's really difficult to actually carry on, like, keeping everything tidy, keeping everything, like, as you like it.
So and it's not your job to tidy the dressing room.
It's not my job to tidy the dressing room. And I didn't want to mother them, which I'm borderline doing with a couple of the cast members. I won't say who. So in order to kind of keep myself kind of happy, I designed the dressing room awards. There is a prize at the end of it. I'm not going to say what the prize is because they might be listening. But it's basically a little door plaque. I got it from Sainsbury's. It's very cheap. And on it just said, dressing room awards, this can only be awarded by Wardrobe, and it moves every day. A bit like Elf on the Shelf. And it goes to someone who has cleared their kind of table enough that I can put the tray down. They don't have to have a really tidy dressing room. They just have to have a space where I can put their tray with their underwear and their mic belts and all that sort of stuff on the desk. And if it's not that tidy, they never win. And at the moment, we have a tally system going.
So it's not just every day, so you're putting the award in that day who wins, but you're also counting how many times different people win.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, there'll be an initial prize, a good prize.
A good prize. So tell us, who's at the top of the leaderboard so far?
At the moment, it's Ashley. Ashley's been leading the way for a long time. She's very tidy.
She is.
But Ashley and Ali share a dressing room, so it's been quite difficult to kind of differentiate between the two, like which one's are tidier.
I mean, that means that Ali's quite good because I shared a dressing room with Ashley during Comedy About Spies, and I can tell you would have been able to tell the difference. I actually put a little bit of tape across the desk so that I would stop my mess from like seeping into her area because I felt so bad. She was so tidy.
There's been some bribery.
Bribery?
I've been bribed.
By who?
James, who plays Sepsis, had bribed me once in Colchester. He decided to leave a cookie.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Bribery works. Do it.
He left a cookie out and he left a note to say, Helen, take a cookie. I hope this doesn't influence the dressing room awards. And on that particular day, now he thinks it's bribery, but actually on that particular day he had tidied up and it was tidy. Like it was, I could put stuff down and it was tidy. The worst person is going to shock you. Is Matt.
No.
Yeah.
Mark Cavendish.
Mark Cavendish has only won it once. And also, Matt only has a very limited amount of stuff. And on one occasion, he hadn't even got his personals out of the personals box. Still didn't win. It's just messy. He's just a very messy actor.
I did know that. I knew he was messy, but like...
Yeah, he's won it once.
Oh my
but
goodness.
Mark Pickering had not won it at all.
Oh, okay. So actually...
He's got one. He's on the board. He just might not win.
Matt's on the board,
unless
but he
tries
won't win.
really hard in Manchester. He's not going to win.
He's gonna have to win every single day to beat Ashley. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna beat Ashley.
No.
She made me more tidy when we shared a dressing room, but it was still pathetic compared to her desk. It was incredible. That's fantastic. And also, again, another one of those things where you're like, just having a lot of fun as you go along.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, keep it fresh. I mean, theatre is meant to be fun. And there's so much going on in the world, isn't there, that's so serious. I think we're lucky to be doing it. Let's enjoy our jobs. Okay, so now you may or may not know this, but Thespians is the first musical that Mischief has done.
Yeah.
Can you remember the first musical that you ever saw?
I've come from quite a musical background.
Oh, really?
My mum and I have always been in theatre or ballet. Ballet was the first thing I ever saw.
Oh, really? What was your first ballet you saw?
I want to say which one,
Wow.
It might have been the film Magade. I can't remember. I've seen a lot of Birmingham Royal Ballets. They used to tour quite close to me in Sunderland. They don't do it anymore. And yeah, I used to watch them nearly every year. It used to be like a birthday treat.
Oh.
But my first one, I think, was Chicago. Was the first thing I properly saw. It was a proper musical.
Chicago.
And that was in the West End.
How old were you?
I want to say 13.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a little, maybe young.
It was quite raunchy for 13.
It's quite raunchy. And about murder.
But I don't remember a lot of what happened. I just remember a lot of ladders. Because there was a really good set design and there was loads of ladders and I really, really enjoyed it. And I came away and I was like, this is really, this is what I wanted. Not what I want to do, but this is really, inspiring. And I went on to watch Phantom and lots of other musicals, just sort of spiral from there.
And would you say, I think we were chatting earlier, Phantom's your favourite?
Phantom is my favourite.
What makes Phantom so special for you?
I think there's just so many bits where you think you know what's going to happen and then it surprises you. My mum's seen it a lot more times than I have. She actually saw Michael Crawford as Phantom, which she always kind of gloats about. And she's like, I saw Michael Crawford. Like, I wish I did. But when we went to see it, I think I was 15, 16. My mum has already seen it. I'd never seen it, but I'd seen the film. And she treated me and we went to see it. And she was like, oh, you think you'll know what happened? You think you'll know what happened? I was like, no, I'm going to watch it. There was one particular moment, and it didn't spoil Phantom for anyone who hadn't seen it, but there's a bit where and I'm always watching theatre in a sort of where the quick change happening. So when they run off stage, I'm like, all right, he's going to do a quick change now and he's going to come back on. There's a bit when the Phantom disappears behind the mirror, obviously. But he came out in the gods and he must have been standing there for 10 minutes in the dark. Obviously, there's no spotlight on him. And we were in the gods because we always sit in the gods. We like being up high.
Wow.
And he was level with us. And he sung, I can't remember what the song called. All I Ask of You, I think. I mean, he was at the top of the theatre. And I went, how did he get, I was on the edge of my seat. And I was like, how the hell did he get there? How was he at the top of the theatre? And then he's got to obviously climb back down again and carry on the film. Carry on the performance. So yeah, it's always been a bit of I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
Oh wow! So I can hear that you're quite interested in particularly the mechanics of making theatre magic happen. Mm-hmm. Has that always been quite interesting to you?
Always. I've always wanted to know, how did I do that? How did they make the play that goes wrong go wrong? How do they make it go right? If it was stuff like that. I've always been interested in quick changes and how they can go from this to this. And there's a lot of Instagram reels now where you watch the Frozen dress. How does it come off? How does it go on? There's one recently which is Wizard of Oz. I think it's in Australia, where she goes from brown dress to blue dress, and it's a fantastic little reel. I don't know a lot about it, but stuff like that. I'm like, how do they do it? How do they bring it to life? Because a lot of theatre isn't. There's no it's nothing to hide behind. You know, you've got to. It's live. You know, and you've got to make it work live. If it didn't work, it didn't work. But you've got to. You know, quick changes have to happen. They are a quick change. Whereas in film, you could just pause the camera, reset, go again.
There's the jeopardy
so it's always
of it.
been that element of theatre that's always excited me by how did that happen and how did I make that do that thing. And sometimes it's like a washing up liquid with blood in it, and even that is just like, how, why, you know, it worked, but how?
I mean, you must have enjoyed the quick changes in Peter Pan Goes Wrong. I'm sure Nancy deserves some kind of award. Like the speed of those things. Magnets. It's always magnets.
Your cab's here, and then your cab's here. Yeah, I love that.
It's so good, isn't it? I used to
it's so clever.
So clever.
But it's what happened in a real. When it doesn't go wrong, it really happened. We are behind a door. We are changing someone, and we are putting them back on stage. That is what happened. So in that respect, like Peter Pan Goes Wrong does explain sort of the backstage roles as well. You know, with Trevor, and it does sort of have a nice little nod to what we actually do. And we don't get seen, and that's the joy of it. Like backstage, people don't really get seen,
and you're okay with that.
In a way, yeah, I don't really like being front and centre. I don't like being I don't really like being on stage. I've always wanted to be behind something.
Do you come on for the curtain call?
Yeah.
How do you find that?
It's weird because a lot of the time you're being told by the cast, and a lot of cast do this. They always say, "Oh, the audience is good tonight," or "The audience is not good tonight." You don't believe them until you get out there, and then like sometimes we walk out on stage, and I'm going. I always look up. I always look at the top level of the balcony. And then I look down, and sometimes you look down and it's like, where are the people? Like, sometimes it's really patchy and it's like really, you don't know where to like put your eyes. So yeah, it's a bit odd, but I actually like that. I think more theatres should do it. I think it should be, we should be exposed in a way, like we should be brought out. And I know Annie does it, and I know a couple of other theatres do it now, where they bring on and many people who are actually available.
Yeah, and who wants to as well.
And who want to do it.
No one. We don't like to force anyone to do it, but it is nice to give the audience a moment to appreciate the people, like you said, actually, who made those incredible theatre magic moments happen. That people like yourself in an audience are thinking, how did it happen? Who did that? Because I'm an actor, and obviously I've watched going, I want to go on there and like be in the middle and do that scene or act like that. But actually, there are people in the audience going, I'm really intrigued and keen to be behind the stage making this show happen. And unless we show the audience the people who are doing that, they might not understand, like, know how to make that route. And it's sort of that connection, hopefully. Think, oh, I could do that job. Like, we think that drama, GCSE or A level, like, you need to then want to be an actor. But actually, there are so many jobs in theatre.
Yeah. And I think with Thespians, when we come out on stage, people realise how small we are. I think they realise how small the band is. I think they realise how small the actual tech department is. Like, we've got Elle in the background, who does sound, who doesn't come on stage because they're on sound, but they are back in the audience. And then when we come on stage, there's only about 4 or 5 of us. And that is actually the reality. There's only actually about 7 of us in the tech, like, crew. And then obviously the band, there's only 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So we are a very small group. And I think that someone mentioned to me, I think it was back in Colchester, like, you really are a small team. So I think that puts it in perspective a little bit. I think that's actually quite good, that people see us on the stage and go, oh, actually, there's only like a handful of people making this happen. And then hopefully there's a bit more appreciation for it.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I think that's what's really interesting about it.
Wow. Okay, you can give us now. Firstly, we'll go through some quick fire questions. What's the funniest wardrobe malfunction we've had in Thespians? Obviously, we know it goes right most of the time, but it wouldn't be Mischief if something didn't go wrong.
So there are 2 things that went wrong. One of them was quite a disaster. It happened just before the show. I don't think anyone noticed, I hope. So the zip broke on Mia's dress.
On Mia's dress. Oh, I remember hearing about this.
And it was quite tragic. And I think we delayed the show quite a bit because we were fixing it. And it ended up fixing with a piece of fabric and a lot of Kimble guns.
Kimble guns, yeah.
Kimble gun. I hate Kimble guns.
I've been Kimble gunned into things before.
Yeah. I think one of the jokes I have with Reese, who plays a tyrant, is everybody in the show has been Kimble gunned into something at least once. And I think that's actually true.
You're not a real actor unless you've been Kimble gunned into something.
Paul Reese has been Kimble gunned into their jumpsuit twice, I think.
Oh, but their costume is so
once within Colchester, and then again, I think in Bath, it happened as well. And then the one that happened last night, I didn't see it. I didn't clock it. So I initially thought that Matt Cavendish's trousers were just ripped at the crotch because there was a little hole.
A clasp.
Yeah. So the clasp has come off, and I fixed that. But what had actually happened is Matt had ripped his undergarment, so he was exposing himself for most of the show yesterday.
Can we just clarify? Not his actual underwear. He wasn't exposing his skin.
No, his trousers. His trousers
had ripped at the crotch.
And I've got to fix it today as well.
Oh,
it's got quite a big gap. And at one point, I remember saying to him yesterday, halfway through the show, again, not really a spoiler, but hopefully you will know when it happened. There's a bit where he lies on the floor, and I just said, "Did you close your legs when you laid on the floor?" Because I was a bit worried that the person in the front row will have seen right up there. And he came off and he was like, "I think I did." I was like, "Well, hopefully you didn't show off your pants."
At least he was wearing pants.
That's probably the biggest wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah,
it's not a massive rip, but obviously when he's moving around, you can see a flash of white.
A little flash of white.
A little flash of white.
Of his pants. Well, let's just say, a good lesson for all actors, make sure you've got your show pants on.
He did have his show pants on, so that was good.
Oh, it's happened to me. In Peter Pan Goes Wrong, I forgot to put on the show pants. Mm-hmm. So the costume purple pants. So when my nightdress was ripped off me, and I go, "Oh my goodness!" And I go, "Oh!" And I check my top half, and then I check my bottom half, and I felt that I didn't have the show pants on. But of course, I didn't have the costume pants on, but I had my own show pants on. They were no, they were not. They were purple.
No.
And then over the top of that, I had 2 pairs of tights. So I think it looked like we were saying there was some kind of Barbie situation going on. But I think because my underwear was purple, it looked more like knickers than actually. A lot of the time, I wear my flesh-toned underwear as show pants, and that would have looked like I maybe wasn't wearing anything at all.
We have a bunch of white shorts. Well, they're more tan at the moment because we don't put white shorts in with tights, it doesn't end up well. That happened as well. But yeah, they're sort of white shorts that they wear underneath their costumes.
Okay.
Fun fact for you.
A fun fact, they're wearing little white shorts.
Yeah,
okay.
So did have his show pants on, but yeah, someone in the audience said, I think there's a hole in his trousers. yeah, there is.
Wasn't it your CSM's mother?
Yeah, it was.
That was Esther's mum. Okay, give us now, think about Thespians. What's the first word that comes to mind?
Madness.
Madness?
Yeah, it's a little bit mad.
On or off or both stage?
Both. Yeah, I don't think we really sit down. It's just you're constantly thinking about it. And even when you're off, not really working, you're constantly thinking about, I've got to fix that, or I've got to do that, or I've got to make sure that works, or I've got to wash that, or there's always something. But I love it. I don't hate it. It's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
And there is no, when people ask what is it about, I'm like, well, it's like a pantomime, but it's not a pantomime. It's a musical, but it's not a musical, and it's not the play that goes wrong. Because everyone thinks when they think of Mischief, they always think, oh, what goes wrong in it then? It's like if it goes wrong, we've done something wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely not goes wrong.
It's meant to go right. It's meant to go.
The jokes are different. It's a different style, isn't it? Where the jokes are on purpose, and we're not playing. Well, I'm not in it, but the actors are not playing actors putting on a musical. They are playing Thespis and Atlas and Melampus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is a question I've asked everyone so far, because obviously it's all about ancient Greece. Ancient Greece had gods of everything. We have the god of grape and wine. If you were a god of anything in the world, what would you like to be the god of?
That's really hard.
It's a hard question.
It is hard. It's funny because I always I like working with my hands. I don't always am making something or fidgeting or crocheting or sewing. And although I work in theatre and wardrobe, I'm always sewing, crocheting. I have that hobby on the side. I just never really stop. So I think something to do with crochet.
The god of crochet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love that, Piggy. What's the... Okay, I know crochet's a whole thing. Like, people crochet all sorts. What's your proudest crochet achievement?
Well, I'm making pineapples.
You're... What?
I'm crocheting pineapples.
You're crocheting pineapples.
So I'm doing a craft fair next week. I've been planning for a while. And I'm making a lot of stuff for that. But in this show particularly, there is a lot of references to pineapples.
There are.
And so I started... I continued to make some crochet pineapples whilst I was sitting around in the theatre. And then I went, you know what would make a really good wrap gift?
Like end of show gift.
So everyone's getting a crochet pineapple. Yeah. And I have made them all, and they're all ready to go.
Oh my goodness, you've done it already. That's amazing.
So at one point, I think I made 16 in 1 week.
16 crocheted pineapples in a week?
They're not very big. They're only like...
how big are they?
Yeah.
So we're talking like the height of like a head, face.
They're small.
They're small.
Like, you can hold them in your hand.
You can hold on in your hand. Okay, fine. Fine. Not novelty sized.
Everyone sort of cottoned on. They were like, what are you making? Like, nothing. nothing for you. Nothing for you. No.
Well, I'm sure those crochet pineapples will be very much appreciated. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and chatting to me. It's been fascinating and enlightening and very fun. Good luck with the rest of the run. You've got sort of 2.5 weeks left now.
Yep.
Manchester to finish. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to everyone listening, thank you so much for listening. I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Okay, cut the speak to you soon bit. That's weird. Bye-bye. I can't ever end these things.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Bye. 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 That'll be perfect. That's it.